and choose not to.
Mhm.
When both she and, let's bring the cart back in, and Cenk are on a little bit of a war path against every single person they used to work with.
What's going on, you guys? Today we have Emma Vigeland versus Ana Kasparian. Emma Vigeland has teamed up with Francesca Fiorentini against Ana Kasparian. It seems like Ana Kasparian is just ruffling feathers wherever she goes. Let's get into it.
Because I want to know, why are we covering things like this? Why are we talking about things like this? Why are we focusing on these small granules that miss the forest for the trees? Is it because ultimately you've never been a progressive? Is it because ultimately you are kind of a centrist? That you might be left on certain issues like corruption or, capitalism and whatnot. Although, Cenk, TBD on union rights. But that ultimately, when it comes to things like unhoused people, crime, you believe the right-wing narrative. When it comes to undocumented people, you believe that you should plaster the face of an undocumented mentally ill man who was falsely accused of starting a fire, the Kenneth fire, which was not the Palisades fire or the Eaton fire, in the middle of this wildfire. You believe in plastering that person's face on your Chiron, and when he has not been charged and blamed.
Not only that, they said that it was people smoking drugs that started the Palisades fire. They were just attacking aimless homeless people. Any homeless person could have been responsible. It's like, are you smoking drugs? We had to explain that we're not even sure Anna and Cenk understand how you smoke drugs. Like, bro, lighting a joint is not like, we made a lot of jokes about how Cenk thinks people are smoking large bowls, potentially trash cans of marijuana. Like, the dude doesn't understand how that would be impossible to have happen. Like, yeah, you should be going after cigarette smokers, if anything.
Yeah, he said the vast majority of fires started by the homeless are to get high, which is obviously not fucking true. and I'm not saying that there isn't an issue with fires starting from homeless camps. Like, that is something that happens. I've even seen it in Kansas City, or not even homeless camps, but just homeless people, like people trying to stay freaking warm.
Oh yeah, on Beardsley Road it happened one time. But I'm concerned for the homeless folks, the unhoused folks. I'm not concerned for,
And also, again, it's to stay warm or cook food, not fucking get high. No. Plus, people, if anyone's starting fires from smoking, it's actually like hikers and shit. Like, people actually talk about that being a big issue if you're in a national park or a protected forest area. And you're smoking a cigarette or a joint.
So right here we have Francesca Fiorentini, sort of hinting at the fact that Ana Kasparian really doesn't have that many leftist values, that she is more of a centrist on issues. She even throws in a little jab against Cenk. She says, except for unions, we really don't know where they stand on that issue yet. But it's clear that Ana Kasparian is see-through as far as what her values are. We really don't know what her values are. They don't seem to be progressives. Considering that that's what they preach. They want to preach that they are for the left, that they are, fully on the left, but they're calling out all the hypocrisy on the left. It's like you're not from the left calling out the hypocrisy on the left. You're from the centrists saying what you don't agree with the left, and it's clear that you haven't either matured to get to that point or you just don't understand it. So don't make it seem like you're an insider who is calling the shots and saying, oh, well, we need to turn this way. You're not going to change anybody's mind, dude.
You can't just kind of flick the roach right out into the brush, because that could actually cause a fire. That is true. But again, that's not even just homeless people. That's just like a generalized fucking thing.
Homeless people like crazy ass Mel Gibson. That is a political disagreement.
Right.
This is not personal, and it sure as shit is not about clicks, because let me say, the amount that I could say and choose not to, when both she and, let's bring the cart back in, and Cenk are on a little bit of a war path against every single person they used to work with, that we know, that we love, that we like.
Yeah.
David Dole, for example.
Yeah.
Mike Figueredo, like all these other people, to say nothing of former employees. It's really, really sad.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to chew on there. I will even say we tried to avoid it as well. I mean, we clip everything. Perhaps they were upset about the fact that it was clipped when we had an IM or a call in. But, at the end of the day, as I was saying, they're adults. We're in the political debate and discourse space, and you've got to be able to take the heat and have the better argument.
Yeah, what's the use in getting upset with somebody because they made a clip? Like, good, they had the balls to stand by what the fuck they had to say. They made it easier for you to see it. Like, you know what I mean? I don't understand this distinction, right? Like, I actually think it's a little more cowardly to bury something. Like, you know, it's like, if you're gonna say it, own it. You know what I mean? So if like if some streamer does like a 10-hour long live stream, and then like somewhere around the 7-minute mark, when they know only their hardcores are watching, they start talking shit. I don't find very respectable. So I think Jenk should be glad that, you know, people are being forward with their criticisms of him so that he could address them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I guess, but it's also just like, I mean, obviously the Young Turks, TYT, is an important piece of both these ladies' career evolution. It's an important part of their professional experience.
I mean, at the end of the day, anybody who's on the internet is subject to criticism, subject to, you know, getting responded to in any way at all. You have to sort of learn how to deal with that. You have to learn how to roll with the punches. People will even comment on a small channel. So it's just a matter of, if you're putting yourself out there into the ether, into, you know, out in the open, be ready for anyone to talk to you. Like, all energy is good energy at the end of the day. And if you haven't gotten to that point, then you're going to start to take stuff personal, and it can lead to looking like temper tantrums. And then it looks worse, because then they know they got you.
Experience in their careers, and obviously that's going to come up. And to act like it's not is just ridiculous. Like, as I've mentioned a million times, Jenk talks about his time at NBC constantly. It was a huge part of his evolution as progressive, as independent media content creator and a business owner. He's talked about it endlessly. So of course that's going to come up, and no one judges him for it. No one would blame him for that. But he wants to act like Francesca and Emma, you know, in the same way, can't discuss the Young Turks and the ways in which that informed their understanding of the media landscape, and potentially even criticisms they have, and, you know, bad experiences they had. Of course that's fair game. Of course it is. And again, both of these people have offered to have Jenk on their show to say it to their face. Francesca already has.
Yep.
Emma and Sam have offered to have Jenk on the Majority Report. He has not taken them up on that offer. So again, he can have this conversation with Emma. He refuses to do so.
Oh, yeah. And also, just to make it clear, the cowards that I was talking about burying their shit in the live streams, that was TYT. That's what they do. They constantly wait until it's members only, and then they talk shit on everyone else there. Just for the people in chat who it wasn't clear enough, I was obviously talking about Anna Kasparian going off on people during their members only chat. So PSA.
And then we have to post it as an exclusive.
Exactly. But that's what I mean. Like, both of these other individuals that we're reacting to, Emma and Francesca, they're happy to stand by their criticisms. They're happy to say, no, this isn't personal. This is policy related. And I'd be happy to have a discussion with you about it, because that's what I care about. Anna is the one that's burying them, taking personal pot shots at people, lying at people, waiting until it's the middle of the night to go on Twitter rampages instead of being an adult and sitting down and having a conversation and actually, you know, making the case for what she believes, because she doesn't believe anything. I think that they're right, that she basically, when she was 19 years old, she got a really good gig. You want to work on the Young Turks and not have to go get a real job? Yeah, that'll be awesome. Thank you. I hate the idea of working in a cubicle. And then you realize over time, yeah, I mean, I was around all these people that believed really hardcore progressive things, but now that I am a grown woman who is, you know, thinking about
Stay in tune with all the progressive leaders in this space. Make sure to like and subscribe for more.
things from my own perspective and not just based off of the perspectives of the people I'm immediately surrounded with at work. I'm starting to find that I am more of a NIMBY centrist. I hate immigrants. I hate the homeless. I want America to be like Switzerland, where we're racist as hell and we don't let anybody dirty in our country, but we also have healthcare for the people we deem worthy. You know what I mean? That's Ana Kasparian's dream, and it's anathema to the one of a working class progressive vision that we have.
Yeah. In addition to growing up and all that stuff, I also just think it's the fact that it's not, you know, cool to be a Bernie Sanders progressive anymore. It's a lot more, you know, easy to hold down positions and to have integrity as it relates to said positions when those positions are popular, when it feels like you're part of a big party. And you guys, it's hard to even remember. And if you weren't paying attention at the time, it's hard to even communicate. But that's what Bernie Sanders' movement was. It was a huge freaking party. And you wanted to be part of that party, specifically if you were on YouTube. I mean, Zach and I talk about it all the time, how much we regret not having a YouTube channel during that time, because it was such a moment. It was such a movement. It was such a big, you know, family on this platform. And yeah, you were going to be part of that party if you were on, you know, left-wing politics and you were a total fucking shitlib sellout traitor, right? So yeah, of course, Anna Kasparian was going to be a progressive then, hold it down. Oh, of course, I'm woke, yeah. But now, it's a little bit more lonely to be holding it down as a real progressive. It's a little bit more lonely. And unless you're really compelling and people actually give a shit about you and your personality, you can't just coast on repping those positions anymore.
100%.
Argument, and based on their view counts, it doesn't seem like people think that they have the better argument anymore, so they choose to go after people on Twitter for engagement. And as you say, I of course could use information that I know from my personal relationship with Anna and friendship, where we would have many calls and conversations. I could have chosen to use that stuff against her. I chose not to. She doesn't seem to have those scruples, but she distorted things about my life, the fact that my parents were lawyers and I grew up with some privilege, to make a claim that I don't have to work for a living. The end of that, like, I am privileged in the sense of, like,
Also, basically,
So there we have it, you guys. We have Emma Vigeland teaming up with Francesca Fiorentini. They've really drawn the line in the sand against Ana Kasparian, Cenk Uygur, the Young Turks. The Young Turks are no longer, accepted in the leftist space. For the longest time, like, the audience members knew that. They knew that, these guys are just a bunch of sellouts. But now it seems like even, Emma Vigeland, the key names in the spaces don't even like the Young Turks. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. It's another day in the progressive way.